Good morning, 5 o'clock the time. Our top stories at this hour. Hillsdale High School in San Mateo will remain closed today. Police need more time to process the scene. More on the suspect coming up in just a moment. And also the search for 5-year-old Hassani Campbell continues after vanishing without a trace 2 weeks ago. More search warrants surfacing this morning. Details straight ahead. And a new twist in the Michael Jackson death investigation. Dr. Conrad Murray, his lawyer, says his client's words were twisted by police. More on this coming up in just a bit. We're also following weather and traffic. In fact, we'll begin this morning with a live look as our Millbrae camera spins around here, giving us a shot of SFO. Again, fog not a factor, low clouds not a factor at this hour, but we're tracking it. Drew Harmon in the weather department with a sneak peek. Good morning, Drew.
Good morning, James. Yes, we're looking at once again some patchy fog out there, a little bit of cloudiness, and taking a look at our Golden Gate Bridge camera out there. See just a little bit of fog now. It's patchy fog at best, nothing too severe. And taking a look at a few weather headlines for today. Mild start all around the bay. Temperatures a bit below average once again for today, but we will see a warming trend as we head towards the weekend. No records will be broken, but we will see some nice warm conditions heading into Friday and Saturday. We'll have a full report on that in just a few minutes. In the meantime, let's get a quick check of traffic with George.
Thank you, Drew. Good morning. Like that phrase, nothing too severe, because that pretty much describes the conditions in traffic right now. We've no hot spots or problems that are going to tie up your commute. We did get word of a high-speed chase in San Francisco, but no indication that it's creating any problems for the morning commute. If details are available, we'll have them coming up in a traffic check just minutes away. James?
George, thank you very much. We'll get back to you guys in a moment. First, though, a quick update on our developing story out of San Mateo this morning. KRON 4's Jackie Sissel live, in fact, outside of Hillsdale High School, the scene of yesterday's pipe bombing. And Jackie, well, we'll get Jackie shot up here in a moment. But Jackie, if you can hear me, there you are. You were there yesterday. You saw all that commotion with the evacuation and all going on. Good morning.
Yeah, it was a chaotic scene out there yesterday. I got there about 45 minutes after everything went under the way. There were parents lined up around the neighborhood trying to get their kids, trying to get information out there. Obviously a much quieter scene out here at Hillsdale High this morning. The ironic thing is that there are still a lot of cars here in the parking lot. Obviously staff and students that never got a chance to get back to their cars. In fact, investigators were out here late last night processing the crime scene. Hillsdale High is going to be closed again today. They will have counselors on the campus for anybody who might need them. Obviously a crazy scene yesterday, very scary for students and teachers alike. James?
Do we know yet when they might reopen, or is that still an open-ended question here?
Yeah, we haven't heard that they're going to reopen on any particular day, James. We do know that today they are going to be closed. I'm assuming that they're probably going to evaluate it as time goes on. There's some damage inside of the school that needs to be repaired, and the investigation continues. They want to make sure that this place is safe for the kids to come back to.
Absolutely. All right, Jackie, thank you much. We'll visit with you again a little bit later on this morning. In the meantime, that 17-year-old former Hillsdale High School student, in fact, you could see him here on this video, being taken into custody yesterday after police arrested him. Well, investigators say he set off a wave of terror, entering the high school at about 8 o'clock in the morning. He was armed with 10 pipe bombs, a chainsaw, and a sword. Police got their first call at about 8:07 and dispatched the SWAT team and officers from several counties. But teachers and administrators that heard the first explosions had no intention of waiting around. Here's what the police chief and the principal had to say.
The suspect attempted to leave the school and was confronted by a third teacher who tackled the suspect, who was still wearing 8 pipe bombs attached to his tactical vest. At that time, a third teacher and our principal, Jeff Gilbert, arrived and restrained the suspect. It was absolutely heroic, calm, and measured quick response.
We know that our most important calling is to keep the students safe. And on a monthly basis, we train for any number of emergency situations. We do lockdown drills, we do earthquake drills, and we do evacuation drills. And that training certainly paid off today.
By 11 o'clock, you can see here all the students were evacuated to nearby Abbott Middle School, and the parents of all those 1,200 students were able to get their kids and take them home. In the meantime, more details surfacing about the suspect, 17-year-old Alex Ushak, in that bombing there at Hillsdale High. This is video of Ushak as he was arrested. Now we've got just shots, of course, the scene around his home where he and his mother and sister lived. Many of his neighbors were shocked to learn that he was the main suspect in the case. They describe him as being quiet and someone who always kept to himself. Here's some of their reaction.
He didn't really talk to anybody. he's really quiet, so I don't think like if anyone would know much about what was going on.
Because I guess he dropped out of school. That's what one of his sisters was telling me.
He's very quiet, and he'd always kept to himself. I wouldn't really see him hang around any other people, just always alone.
I mean, he was quiet, and he was like calm and everything. Like, he really never came outside. I really never seen him, only once or twice, just going inside the car with his mom. And that's it. I always knew he probably stayed inside, I guess.
Now, the police wrapped up their search of Ushak's home last night around 7 o'clock, but police are still doing their investigation at Hillsdale High School. And as you heard Jackie Sissel report a moment ago, that high school closed again today. And for the latest on the bombing at Hillsdale High, just log on our website, KRON4.com. We've got a special section there set up with everything you need to know about this case. Everything we know so far can be found there. You can also watch the entire police news conference about this incident. We've got it streaming there for you. KRON4.com, the place to go. Meanwhile, new details this morning in the Hassani Campbell case. That 5-year-old boy who's been missing now for about 2 weeks. KRON 4 has now confirmed there are 3 additional search warrants that have been filed in this case. Police won't say yet what they're looking for in those documents because they're sealed in Alameda County's courthouse. But Oakland Police tells KRON 4 that the Hassani Campbell case is still an active investigation and they are still pursuing leads. We'll let you know when we have more information. Meanwhile, another vigil was held last night for 5-year-old Hassani. The vigil began at 6:30 last night, and this is video of what took place in the parking lot there where Hassani was reported missing back on August 10th. Hassani's family members are trying to raise money to increase the reward for information leading to his whereabouts. Oakland Police and Crime Stoppers right now have announced a $10,000 reward, but family members would like to have that amount increased. And for continuing coverage of this case, keep it tuned here to KRON 4 as well. We've got not only the latest details on our broadcast, but also on our website, KRON4.com, another special section there devoted to all of the latest in the search now for 5-year-old Hassani Campbell. All right, at 5:07, let's get over to the weather department, find out how the forecast is shaping up for this Tuesday and the warm-up that's in store. Good morning, Drew.
Good morning, James. Yes, indeed, we're looking at a mild start all around the Bay. Forecast. It's 5:08 on the KRON 4 Morning News. Let's get a check on traffic with George.
How about a nice and pleasant traffic report this morning? No backup, no delay for the westbound ride. James.
All right, George, thank you very much. From here, we move on to the latest developments in the Michael Jackson death investigation, and at this point, it's been ruled a homicide. The LA County coroner says Jackson was given a fatal combination now drugs on June 25th, and his personal physician here, you saw him just a moment ago, Dr. Conrad Murray, his personal doctor. He could now face criminal charges because of all this. He's already the subject of a manslaughter investigation and has admitted to giving Jackson the powerful drug propofol with at least 2 other sedatives. But Murray's attorney says police have twisted the doctor's account now of the singer's last hours. Jackson reportedly had a long problem with insomnia. No word yet on when or if the DA will file criminal charges. And don't forget, we've got Ivan Gold coming up later on this morning, I believe, in our 8 o'clock hour at 8:15. Legal analyst Ivan Gold, who has personal knowledge, worked personally with Michael Jackson and his family back in the early 2000s. He'll be with us to talk about these latest developments, so more on that to come. Stay tuned, 8 o'clock. Be here for that. And we're also following the latest with TMZ as well. They've got, and are we going to do that now, or are we going to go to commercial break? Okay, we'll come back later. His net worth, believe it or not, we'll talk about it in a minute. His net worth is about $1.3 billion. His cash on hand, about $600,000. More on that coming up, so stay tuned. Right now, 5:12 is the time. We'll be back with more in a minute. A live picture this morning of the Bay Bridge span and the section of the bridge that is under construction this morning. This shot from Treasure Island. We'll have more on that. And that tugboat. You remember the tugboat that sank off Treasure Island? Whatever happened to that? We'll get an update. Stay with us.